Okay, well, today we're going to be talking about home safety tips.
Okay.
I guess we can get started. It's time. And anyway,
It's
you
you and
know,
I.
I think it's going to be you and I.
All
And
right.
then,
You
and then
you
Sue does put this up on the church's website, or not website, but YouTube page, and then
okay.
people can view it later.
Okay. Go
But
ahead.
so anyway, I thought since winter is coming, and we're all going to be spending a whole lot more time indoors, then I thought maybe we need to talk, just kind of refresh people, keep them reminded that home safety is really important. And to just, I'm not going to do a whole lot of lecturing or anything like that, but just reminders. And that's pretty much what it is. So that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, what did I do there?
I still see and hear you.
Okay. So anyway, the scripture says, the prudent sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. I thought this was kind of appropriate, and this is Proverbs 22:3 in the New International Version. I thought this was kind of appropriate because it's telling us that we need to be on the lookout for, any kind of things that can harm us, and to take care of business,
Okay.
basically. So, and anyway, the simple keep going and they pay the penalty of, injury or whatever. So that's why I chose this passage.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is falls. Okay. And I like this little guy slipping on a banana peel, of course. And so falls are the leading cause of injury for adults 65 and older. Each year, millions of older adults fall. In fact, 1 out of 4 people over 65 will fall, but less than half will tell their doctor. How about that? Falling once doubles your chances of falling again. So we need to be real careful with falls.
Now, is that in the context of just age causing a fall, or not looking at things where you're going, or putting yourself in a hazardous condition?
It's all those, all
All those.
those. And anybody can fall. Anybody. There's more people 65 and older who fall, but anybody can fall. So that's why we need to take safety measures no matter what our age is.
Okay.
It said many falls do not cause injury, but 1 out of 5 falls do cause serious injury, such as broken bones or head injury. These injuries may make it harder for a person to get around, to do everyday activities, or to live on their own. And we see this in the older population, that once they fall, they get real afraid because they have injured themselves in some way or another, or they know that it could have injured them.
Mm-hmm.
And then many who fall, even without injury, become afraid of falling again, and they become less active and then become more weak, resulting in increasing their chances of falling again. So let's talk about falls a little bit. And it says that 1 out of 5 falls cause a serious injury, such as a broken bone or a head injury. 1 out of 5. And each year, 3 million older adults are treated in the emergency department for falls. Each year, over 800 older adults are hospitalized due to falls, most often because of head injury or a broken hip. And each year, over 300,000 are hospitalized for hip fractures. More than 95%, now this one is good, more than 95% of hip fractures are caused by falls, and usually by falling sideways.
Now, is there a factor of structural damage, osteoporosis, or
Yes,
is that
yes,
usually a factor in those?
yes. that does play a big part, because as we age, our bones are not as dense as they used to be and become a little bit more brittle. So any kind of falls, along with weakened muscle strength, weakened muscles around the joints, can cause an injury. Also, if you fall and hit your head, many people are on medications to thin their blood out, and this can cause a major bleed in the head and a major head injury. And it says here that falls are the most common cause of traumatic brain injury. That's what we were just talking about. And falls injuries account for more than $50 billion each year that Medicaid or Medicare pick up the cost of. So it's very costly, and it can cause serious injuries. And falls can cause broken bones, like in the arm, the wrist, ankle, or hip. My mother fell a couple of times, and the first time she fell, she broke her wrist. Second time she fell, she broke her hip. And falls can cause head injuries, which can be very serious in persons taking medications like blood thinners. Mm-hmm. And older people who fall and hit their head should see their doctor right away to make sure that they don't have a head injury or develop one. And so how can we best prevent falls in our home? Number one thing is to make sure that rugs are secured. We do not like all these scatter rugs, or, little rugs that are all over the place that a lot of people have. They need to be secured, like with carpet tape or some other thing that will secure them, keep them from slipping, or get rid of them altogether. I say get rid of them altogether because they are a tripping hazard and a slipping hazard. We want to keep our pathways clear, free of clutter, so that we're not tripping over things. And we want to use our handrails going both up the stairs and down the stairs. And that's really important because so many people are carrying things down the stairs, they slip and fall. Same thing going up the stairs, they slip and fall. And falling on the stairs can be pretty bad. We want to wear good fitting shoes around the house for stability. Because if you're tripping over your shoes and over your feet and getting all tangled up, that's just a real bad, that's scenario for falls. Have your vision checked, as you were saying, is that if you can't see well, things, you may not see things on the floor or run into things and you can fall. So we want to make sure that our vision is checked. Have your doctor review your medications so that anything that might cause dizziness or just dizziness or anything like that maybe they could switch out something that wouldn't. Also, keep your strength up and work on balance. The weaker we become, the more likely we are to fall because we just don't have the strength to keep ourselves up. And along with strength, keeping ourselves strong, you're also keeping your balance. A lot of people need to work on balance and strength. Then it's always prudent to have a device such as a life alert or a phone with you at all times so that you can call for help in case you do fall. And maintain good lighting. Good lighting is very crucial because a lot of falls do occur at night in low lighting conditions. You don't see something and then you just trip and fall. And then also consider inviting a professional into your home to do a falls risk assessment. If anyone would like me to come and do that, just contact me at the church. I can come over to the house and we can go over, things that could cause falling. So the next one we have is, look at this guy. He's slipping and falling and now he's down. What are we going to do here? And this happens more often than you would believe. Bathroom safety. The bath, shower, and toilet are the number one place in your home that falls can happen. Toilet injuries account for 14% of all bathroom-related injuries. Oops, that's not what I want. So what we're going to do in the bathroom, again, is secure rugs. Use rugs that have non-slip backing, or get rid of the rugs altogether. But we want to make sure that a slippery bathroom floor, you're not going to be slipping. We want to get that taken care of. Install grip bars in the shower and bath area, and then also in the toilet area. One of the things that happens in the toilet area is that people are straining to get up and down on the toilet, and they can hurt their back, they can hurt their hips, they can slide off the toilet. So this is why hand grips along the side of the toilet is pretty important. And this is for, anybody, and little kids too. And in the shower, you can place a shower seat so that you have a place to sit in case you get tired or weak, and that helps with balance. Install a raised toilet or toilet seat. Get a raised toilet or a toilet seat riser and a grip bar to help prevent any kind of back strain and injuries on the toilet. Prevent hot water burns. Set temperature at 120, no higher than 120 degrees. After that, you can get scalding and scalding problems. One of the things of growing older too is that our skin becomes less sensitive to hot and cold, and so therefore, if the water is too hot, it can easily burn us without even us knowing it. It can cause skin damage. So we want to keep that at 120 degrees or less to prevent scalding. We also want to keep our shower or bath cleaned regularly, because as mold and mildew build up, it can make a very slippery surface, and again, falls. And we place non-slip mats in bath or shower to help prevent slipping. Use a shower caddy or the like to keep items close by so as to avoid straining or reaching too far where you could possibly slip and fall in the bathtub. Again, keep area very well lit. And one of my number one things is that if the floor gets wet, clean it up as soon as possible. Prevent slipping. I had an incident a number of years ago that my husband and I were in the hot tub. And so we got out, and of course I always dry myself off and he doesn't. So he proceeded to go into the kitchen and drip all over the kitchen floor. Well, I didn't know he was doing it. So I come in, and the next thing you know, I'm down. And I wrenched my leg something awful. I did a nice splits. And it hurt so bad. And anyway, I ended up having to go to the doctor and then having PT for about 8 weeks to help it. I mean, it hurt so bad. And it still kind of acts up every now and then. I had quite an injury.
Yeah,
and I was quite younger then.
Well, age, I don't know if age is much of a determining factor when you fall.
That's right. That's right.
It treats most of us unkindly.
Yeah, it does. I like that. It treats most of us unkindly. So anyway, the next area we're going to is kitchen safety. Isn't this a cool picture? I love it.
Yes, it is. You're sure that's not a picture of maybe looking down into hell or something like that?
Could be. Could be.
All right.
Okay. And so cooking hazards are the top cause of house fires in the United States. Surprise, surprise. So here's some of the things that we can do to help prevent cooking fires or fires in our kitchen. Have a multi-purpose fire extinguisher close by, or baking soda, or a fire blanket on hand that is ready at all times. I have seen that they have this new blanket that is fireproof, and so what you do is that if you have like a stove fire or anything, you just throw the blanket on and that smothers it, which is really kind of cool. But I can imagine that it's kind of big and heavy. So, but I usually have my baking soda right up in a cupboard close by, and that's what I've used for fires before. But I truly do try and prevent fires.
Yeah, well, we keep a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, so.
Good, good. And keep it in a garage too, because you never can tell what's going to go on out there.
Well, you get too many, you'll stretch my memory ability. I might forget where they are.
Yeah, that's true too.
You'll get
And
there.
and we want to keep the flames on the stove low and never leave an open flame unattended, especially for the gas stoves. I have a gas stove, and I was what was I doing yesterday? Oh, I was boiling down some juice, some apple juice that my husband, he got a bunch of apples anyway from his tree, and I was boiling down the juice to make jelly. And I had that flame up really high. And then my daughter comes in and says, "Mom, that flame's kind of high. I think that paper towel that's right there is going to catch on fire soon." So, whoa, you're right. You're right.
Ah,
Happens to the best of us.
there you go.
So we want to keep the flames low and never leave an open flame. Keep handles on cookware away from the front of the stove so that we're not knocking it off as we go by. And if a fire should start in your microwave, which I've only had that done once, is what we're supposed to do is shut off the power. Just, stop the cooking, and then leave the door closed until the flames go down. Because if you open up the door, it's going to give the fire more oxygen, and it's going to flare up, and it could really easily spread. So you just want to wait until there's no more flames, and then you can open up the door. And of course, use oven mitts or pot holders to prevent burns. And again, this is very important for older adults because they lose sensation in their hands. So what is hot doesn't really they don't feel it. So we want to use oven mitts and pot holders to prevent those burns. We want to keep our kitchen counters clean and wipe them down with a disinfecting wipe or other cleaning agent on a regular basis. And the reason is because germs in the kitchen area can grow rapidly. And since we're using that area all the time and eating food from the prepared area, we want to keep it clean. Wash dishes that are in your sink daily. Do not allow dirty dishes to sit in the sink, as bacteria can start to grow right away in the warm, moist environment. And bacteria can cause some really nasty diseases that we don't want, especially GI diseases. We want to check expiration dates on food. Toss if too old, smells bad, or have mold growing on it. We don't want to take the mold off. We just want to toss it. There is a difference between an expiration date and a sell-by date. So if you have a package of something and it says best if used by such and such date, that is really not the expiration date. That is an indication for the store to rotate that item and move that one along as soon as possible. But it's not an expiration date. So really, you need to, look, see, smell, and possibly even taste. If it tastes bad, get rid of it. And we want to check and make sure our refrigerators are kept cool enough. The inside of the refrigerator, according to the Food and Drug Administration, is 40 degrees or lower. And for the freezer, should be at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower for safe food storage. And beware of loose clothing and flames. My grandmother caught herself on fire using her gas stove when she had a long sleeve hanging down. And it just, woof, it was a little nylon nightie that she had, and it just blew up in flames and she was burned all over. Okay. So we're done with general kitchen safety. And again, oops, let's see.
What was your last? Okay, I'm
What?
sorry. I'm sorry, I
Oh.
don't mean to.
No, and again, keep the floor free from spills, grease spills, water spills, juice spills, any kind of spills, because look at this, we're slipping again. And I had to get after my husband the other day because he slopped water all over the kitchen floor again. It's like, really? Really? And you didn't clean it up?
It sounds like he's got a bad habit there.
Yeah, I think so. Well, he just gets involved, and this cleanup can come at a later date, but not at my expense. I'm not slipping and falling again. No way. Okay, so now we're going to go to general indoor safety. And again, this is a review of things that, we know we should do. And just as a reminder, we want to install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and check batteries every 6 months. And let's see, we usually do that when the time changes in the fall and spring. So we're coming up on falling backwards. So we're going to be checking our batteries for our smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. And then have and maintain a first aid kit that is available, and you know where it is. Remember where it is. And if you would like to talk about what should be in a first aid kit, we can talk about that later. We also want to develop an emergency escape plan in case there's any kind of fire or other disaster that would be in your home, and at least practice every once in a while getting out of the house and have a plan, know what to do. Do not overload electrical outlets or place flammable items in front of them or too close to an outlet, like blankets and pillows and things like that. I've gone into some of these houses, and I mean, their sockets are so overloaded, and then they have, the little extension things, and goodness, that's so dangerous. We want to replace burned out light bulbs and put in good quality lighting. And of course, store hazardous material properly and safely. Any kind of hazardous material, chemicals, paint, fertilizers, gasoline, things like that. And we want to post a poison control number, have it either on your cell phone or by your landline. And the number is 1-800-222-1222. And that gets you to the national line and dispatched into the local poison control center. And I think our closest one is Hershey, but it operates out of Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, I believe I've read. And we want to store firearms in a safe or some other safe way so that no accidents here. Keep clean dryer vents at least yearly to prevent, again, possible fires. And keep floors clean and free of water, grease, or other liquids, and clean up spills quickly. Then we're going to go into general outdoor safety. Yeah, the guy falling from the ladder. And so anyway, some of the things that we can do is talk about a little bit of security devices. You can install security cameras around your house or get a Ring doorbell. I think the Ring doorbell has been such a cool thing to have, because then you can see usually who is at your door before you answer it, and you don't have to open it up. And that's a real security issue for a lot of older people. Well, and kids too.
Do you have one?
Yes, my daughter got one.
And did it install easily enough that,
Oh yeah, she did it herself.
yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
she did it herself. And she was living with my sister too, and she installed it on my sister's house. And
Okay.
it's really nice because, you know, if somebody rings the doorbell or what it does is that it bings on her phone. So if somebody even comes close to it, it records it and she can see who's there. And I can see it on my phone too. But I have the notifications turned off because somebody's always at my door or the cats are running around or something like that. But it's
Well, if you have the notifications off, if you push the button, does it ring then?
yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, okay.
Well, I turned the notifications off because, like I said, I had so many, you know, false alarms like the cats walking by. The cats
Okay.
walking by. I have a flag out front and the flag is, you know, flapping and it gets into the vision area of the ring and it would go off. And, you know, I'm at work or someplace and it's going off and it's like, oh, okay. So I just turned it off. But when I am home or away, I do turn the notifications back on. And I like being able to see, especially if I'm alone, I like being able to see who's at my door before I open it up. And we want to keep any of the entryways well lit at night, and also and you might want to consider motion detection lights. We have those on our house, and I find those very useful. And one of the checks that we want to do in the wintertime too is make sure that doors and windows close and lock properly. Keep outside plants from overgrowth for security and fire safety. If you can't see out, then it's hard for you to be able to assess what's going on outside. So it is recommended that you keep things low. And consider investing in a home security system. And I think one of the main things that we need to do for general outdoor safety is get to know your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors, be able to call them or rely on them in case something should happen. And consider not placing political signage in your yard. It may make you a target for personal or any kind of home damage, especially in this political environment now. People are so angry on either sides. I just think that political signs kind of may set you up for some vandalism or, you know, ickiness. And avoid the pileup of mail and packages, newspapers, and that would be an indication that somebody is not home. So you want to prevent that. And also be careful on ladders. Pay someone to do that work. Don't be.
My wife and my children now.
But it's true. It's
Well,
true. I mean, really, we don't want to take that risk.
yeah,
And
but go ahead.
then
Can't do it.
we want to keep the walkways and pathways clear of debris and other junk. You know? So we're not tripping over them and falling. So, and then I have a couple of other things that I didn't make slides for, and cybersecurity. That's, you know, that's such a thing now. And so my number one tip for that would be to tune in to Sue George's Tech Time with Sue on Mondays at 1 p.m. and learn all about cybersecurity, preventing scams, how to handle so many cyber things. And plus she will tell you how to take care of some things on your computer. And I highly recommend that. 10 out of 10. And then ME also wanted me to mention that on Monday, this next Monday, 30th, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the 30th, that Prime Timers is having car inspections done by professionals from Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles, I think it is, and they will come and do safety checks on your car. And while you sit in the car, they will walk around and give you hints on how to make your car safer and be able to see around you better and give you hints on that. But you will need to call and sign up and make an appointment because each one is about 20 minutes and they want to do it a one-on-one with a car.
Okay.
So anyway, that concludes this presentation. And I thank you for coming. And I really hope hope everybody stays safe.
But now we've got a second attendee. My wife came
I'm
in
here.
a few
Woo-hoo.
minutes,
Hi, Nancy.
so we're improving.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But you know, when you go through all of this, all in all, we're pretty well taken care of.
Good.
I mean, there are a few things that you can always improve on, but
Right.
we got a one-story house, so it's very easy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's safety is much easier. So
Right.
but again, I thank you.
Well, you're
Yes.
welcome.
And look forward to the next one.
Okay. Well, next one I'm thinking that I would like to do is health screenings, necessary health screenings, and talk about the ones that we need to do and why.
Okay.
There's a lot of screenings that we want to do.
Well, there's a lot that they can ask you to do. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
That's true.
Yeah, but it'll be good. Again, thanks so very much, Becky.
Well, you're
And
welcome.
Go out and enjoy some of the sunshine.
Well, I think I will.